All right, let's use Production Manager by itself to create a similar decal as we did when we designed it in Flexi itself. Remember, in Flexi, in the previous video, we actually designed it with an underbase and then sent that over to the Production Manager for processing. Let's do it all from within Production Manager. To understand this better, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a job in here, and we'll take the one we've been working on here. There we go. So that's just a normal CMYK print right there. Okay, there's nothing special about it at all. So I'm going to double click on that. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to here, and you'll see that if I choose just the white channel, there is nothing. Right now there is no white being generated for this particular project. And part of that reason might be because our profile might not be correct. So I'm going to go to my third tab here, and I'm going to choose the profile I want to use. And in this case, maybe I want to use this right here. I'm just going to use this soap adhesive white underflood. Okay, so I'm going to click OK on that. So that applied it to this graphic. Now I'm going to go back and let's take a look at the white. And again, you don't see much here. You can, if you want to, just go to your printer options and use the options that are available here and turn on these options if you want to. So like if I turned on, say, under color, okay, and then I go back here, then you would see it would print white under the color part of the image here. It wouldn't print it in these areas in here. And that's not really what I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go actually to the last tab, which is called Transparency. And I'm going to turn on Create Transparency. And what that does is you can see this, the graphic is actually square in shape with the symbol in between. I'm going to click on this background here. I'm holding my Shift key down, and I'm just eliminating the edges. In other words, I'm making the edges of the graphic here transparent. Okay, that's all I've done so far. All right, but I'm going to go down here and take a look at this same menu. It says channel is white. What do you want to do? White option, and it says use transparent mask. Now if I set it to use driver settings, it would use the settings that I had back in the driver, but I want to use transparent mask because what I'm after is I want to print white just under the circle. I don't want to go out to the edges, and I also want to print white under the white part here. Okay, so let's take a look and see what it's going to do. Go back to our channel preview, and sure enough, it does exactly what I've asked it to do. So the settings in this tab right here will override the settings in your driver options here. Okay, so remember I had it under color, but I'm going to get a full circle here because I told it to use the transparent mask. All right, so let's keep that in mind when we're working on this graphic here. Now I'm going to delete that file, and let's build that 3-layer file where we have a CMYK print, white, and CMYK with a contour. We're just going to use Production Manager to do it. So let's add in that same job. So I'm going to go down here to the jobs, and we'll find that job. There it is. And what I'm going to do is I need 3 layers. So I need 3 copies of this particular file. That's easy to do in Flexi. All you do is right click, and this menu that shows up here has something called duplicate in it. So I'm just duplicating that file 2 times. So I have 3 different layers here. Now I'm going to double click on the first layer, go to the last tab, and I'm going to go ahead and make this transparent in the back. And you know the reason why now, because I want to have solid under there. So I'm going to click OK on that. And I'm going to do the same thing on these other ones too. Just make sure that everything is the same, right? So I'm going to click there, get rid of that, click OK, double click here, go to the last tab, and we'll just get rid of those parts too and click OK. Now, all 3 of these have some transparent backgrounds, right? Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take all 3, and I'm just holding my Shift key down, or I could hold the Control key, but I'm going to hold the Shift key down to select all 3 of these, okay? And I'm going to right click, and I'm literally going to go to Create Layer Job. And what that's going to do is it's going to combine those 3 into a single job. And what this does is this allows me to say, okay, for the first one, I want for the front, the one that's going to face outward, I want to print colors. For the second one, I want to use white ink. And for the third one, I want to print the colors in here. So it's exactly right. And for the white here, I don't need to set this. You know, I can set it to whatever I want because I'm going to use that transparency tab to create the white I want. All right, so let's click OK on that. And basically it's building the file at this point. And I'm going to just double click on this file. And I'm going to go to my settings for color. And instead of that underbase, I'm just going to make sure that it's the S3L. That's the 3-layer sandwich, right? I'll go here and I'm just going to make sure that it says use transparent mask. That's okay. If I want to add a contour cut, I can just say, all right, let's put a contour cut around that, whatever size we want. Perfect. You can see here I can actually control the settings for the contour cut, no problem at all. This tab is layers, actually shows me my layers that I'm working with. And I know that when I chose that use transparency mask, that middle layer right there that prints white is going to print a black circle. So I'm literally going to get each piece. And in fact, I can, by the way, I can go in this layers area here and just turn this off. And then it's showing the middle layer here. That's the white that's going to print. Okay. And then if I want to show the front part, that's the front image. This is the back image. This is the middle image. It's really very easy to use this, right? So I'm going to turn them all back on here. So the job is ready to go. All I have to do now is send the job, and it will definitely do a print just like we wanted, and it's going to add the contour cuts. ½ inch in my case is what I chose outside the area there. So that's how you can do a job in Production Manager, and you didn't even have to use Flexi if you didn't want to. So I think this is a really good example of the power that you're getting with your HP L36.